When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com.
And now,
it's everybody. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Marianne, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Hair's all blown around. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Joey, good to see you. Richard, hello, hello. Danielle, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning, Molly. Thank you, everybody, for retweeting and inviting people. Good morning, Daniel. John, hello. How are you? Penny Arcade, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Chicago Pops, good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Hey, Bumpy. Hey, Pat. Alan, good to see you. Hello from Arkansas. Is that? Good morning. Good to see you. Big Al, Rossum, I'm seeing some new people there. Good to see you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read Psalm 67, and then we can get started. God be merciful to us and bless us and cause his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known on earth, your salvation among all nations. Let the people praise you, O God. Let all the people praise you. Oh, let the nations be glad and sing for joy. You shall judge the peoples righteously and govern the nations on earth. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. Then the earth shall yield her increase. God, our own God, shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. Amen. Hey, Don, good to see you. Amen, amen. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Man, we've made it to the middle of the week. It's been a bumpy ride so far, hasn't it? And everything in the news. Good morning, Mark. Hey, Tom, good to see you. Thanks for retweeting. So, let's get started. So the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all, opened with record highs. How's my favorite Periscope doing? Oh, just fine, Mark. Sneaky Schumer, yes. I guess Schumer didn't get too much sleep last night because the Dreamers were out in front of his house chanting, if they don't let us dream, they don't get to sleep. Something of that nature. The news is looking good. Yeah, Don's looking better, huh? If we can't dream, they can't sleep. Whatever. 401k is doing great. Schumer is an A. Remember on election night how they were reporting the markets were dropping? Yes, Robin. Did it make him cry? I don't know, Alan. It probably kept him up a little. Assuming that he was even there. He was probably in D.C. somewhere, would be my guess. But they had to get out and start chanting. People like that who are doing that in front of people's homes in the middle of the night really ought to be arrested if they're told to leave and they don't leave. No matter what the cause, if you don't have a permit, you can't do stuff like that. There wasn't one station showing it. Of course not. All on Periscope. Can't wait to see the memo. Yeah. And in regards to that memo, hey, Renee, not only are you stupid, according to Adam Schiff, but now you may in fact be a Russian bot, and that's why it's being requested. Yes, Rhonda, it is disturbing the peace, and they should have been arrested. Told to disperse and then arrested. Heard memo will be next week on Hannity. I don't know about that. Chuckles the clown. Schumer must be crying. With Mueller getting fired, yeah, well, probably not, Danielle. But basically, what is happening is now that there are Democrats who are getting together. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. Top-ranking Democrats in the House and the Senate are calling on Twitter and Facebook to launch investigations. Hey, Cully. of potential Russian-linked accounts pushing for the release of a controversial congressional memo. So again, not only are you stupid, but now you're a Russian bot. So the American people really don't want the memo released. It's Russian bots. I hope this memo changes the world for the good. Blaming Samsung for missing text. They think we're stupid. Yeah. Think we're clueless and stupid. We're not bots. Yes. Did you see the protesters, dreamers outside of Chuck's house in New York? Yes, Brandon. We just talked about that. Hey, Lori. Until then, you pretty much know what's in the memo. Joyce, assuming that that person is correct. I mean, sometimes Q doesn't get it right. The Democrats' desperation is pathetic. Yeah, I mean, I really, they're keeping a hold of this Russia narrative, and so now demanding that, yeah, I'm a bot. Release the memo. Exactly. I will be a vodka bot, Cully said. Q has been more right than wrong. May have been, Joyce, but you can't depend upon one source. You really can't. I heard somebody yesterday, one of the sources that a lot of people depend upon, saying that President Trump was not going to go to Davos because it was too dangerous. And then yesterday, the White House reported they're going to go to President Trump's going to Davos. I'm not a bot. I'm getting ready for the therapy, so listening only. That's okay, Barbara. Thanks for tuning in. Why did all the concern over the memo not get released until after the FISA one? Yeah, you think they'd ease out of Russian narrative? Yeah, they can't. They can't help themselves. They got to keep the Russian narrative going on. Americans over illegals, binary agent said, yes, UK was the dangerous trip. No, this particular person said Davos. Even CNN says no one cares about the Russian narrative anymore. I know, Don, because no one does except the Democrats. Hey, Lee, how are you today? So, let's see. So, Schiff and Feinstein they sent a letter to Mark Zuckerberg and Twitter, Jack Dorsey, asking that they provide a public report to Congress and the American public by January the 26th. It doesn't get more pathetic than that. I'm reading the 99-page memo and giving my thoughts on Twitter. Good for you, binary. But at least, again, I know people like to get one source and go, this person's right. They're not, You need several sources and then come up with the correct answer, really. I've seen a lot of false reports. Hey, Spencer, good to see you. So tired of this dreamer's narrative, but they're all future brilliant doctors and scholars. Exactly. Thanks, binary. Hey, Carmen. Carmen and I talked about the website, so you can talk about it anytime you want to. I talked about it yesterday. In fact, Facebook just had an ad run for my new website and the things that I'm selling. So if you go over and watch Facebook, not Facebook, but YouTube this morning, you'll see it. Hey, Christian, how are you? Just passing through. No problem, Carmen. Dems support immigrant lives, but hate the gift of life. Absolutely. They should have had ICE show up at last night's protest. I know, Tom, that would have been great. Yeah, Schumer this morning basically said, the Democrats are going to win if you show people being deported, and telling the media this is what you need to do. The Democrats will win if you will show people being deported. So I guess that's a little message to the media to go out there and start showing people being deported. Dems only want illegal votes. Yes. Let's see. There was some new stuff coming out. John Podesta. Everybody was wondering where John Podesta is, thinking he was indicted, thinking he was under arrest. Well, if he is all of those things, he's writing for WAPO, Washington Post. He had a new op-ed out that said that he's calling for more programs to stabilize world population and in order to fight global warming. What that means is that it's another word for abortion, because he's talking about family planning, and that means abortion. So John Podesta is out there writing op-eds for Washington Post. He's not arrested. I know. So once again, hey Marlene, the globalists and the elitists call for a world population stabilization so they can control your life. Abortion is disgusting, Don. When did he write the article? Just recently, just came out, like in the last day or so. Hey, Teresa, good morning. Good to see you. Also, another thing that wasn't reported in the news, at least I didn't see it, and I'm in California, some dreamers blocked some vehicle access to Disneyland in order to protest DACA and show their support for DACA. It's really weird because, Disneyland's a pretty liberal place. And so why they're going to Disneyland, I don't know. Probably for the attention, and they really didn't get any attention. Wasn't on the local news, wasn't on the national news. And you might be surprised to know, Mickey was not happy. Mickey wasn't happy. No. But Pluto was. Cully. So, Starbucks. Now, this may surprise you because Starbucks can't find anything good about what the president's doing. But, I don't know. All of a sudden, they're going to be giving raises and stock grants to their employees due to the tax reform. Interesting, huh? They need to keep the gathering like that easy roundup. Yep. Batagalia, how are you? Welcome to Periscope on your first day. Yeah, no Starbucks here. I haven't gone to Starbucks. Oh my gosh. It's been 15 years maybe a little bit less, but happy with the tax breaks though. Yes. Yes, they can, tax breaks are just fine. I heard somebody yesterday say, and it was a Democrat, was saying, hey Jerry, did President Trump really do anything with the tax breaks? I mean, is that what's causing the employers to give the money back? Because didn't they just have that money and they were holding on to it? So wait a minute. Let me translate that the Democrat couldn't translate. That means Democrat businesses, Democrat-run businesses like Starbucks, they were holding out on their employees and not giving them money. Wait, what? What? You mean you had the money, you were holding on to it, you were keeping it for yourself, and you weren't sharing it with your employees? Democrats were doing that? No kidding. Wouldn't that be bad? Hey, Brandon. I know, I make coffee at home. I drink Dunkin' coffee, so I don't know if Dunkin' Donuts, pretty soon we won't be able to drink anything. How 1% of them? Yeah. But I mean, seriously, how come the Democrats, how come all these people and employees aren't going around and saying, wow, you had all of this money that you were making off of our backs and you were choosing to hold on to it and not share it. How dare you? You like Dutch brothers, Rhonda said. So, but you'll not hear a peep about that. That somehow was okay. Same as them saying they'd move to Canada. Yep, while slave labor by Dems, share the wealth is their motto. Exactly, Jerry. Exactly. And you know what? Nobody pointed that out to them. The media never said a word about it. And speaking of media, did you notice yesterday at Sarah Sanders? I didn't hear her call on Jim Acosta. I think Jim has been put on a pretty extensive timeout. And hopefully it'll last for, a week or so longer at least. I thought that was great. And I was surprised yesterday. This is hilarious. Has nothing to do with the news. But I saw, hey Alexis, I saw Stranahan at the press conference. And, his chair was empty. Well, his head was. I said, might as well be empty. Sarah's getting better with the trolls. She is. Acosta being shadow banned. That was needed, not calling him. Yes, my name on my cup would be Trump tax cut, Scully said. Jim's been put in the corner. Surprised Jim didn't cry on Twitter. Yeah, I know. Love what she said about Vanity Fair. I know, it's so great. Sarah has been such a welcome relief. So much better than Spicer. But what I was going to say was I saw Stranahan in the press conference, and I didn't realize how short he was. There was a guy standing in front of him, and I could barely see him. Unless it was a step down, he's pretty short. Not that that matters anything. Next one is April the Fool. Yeah. You know, Joyce, April, every question out of April has something to do with racism or African Americans. I don't understand. Is she like the racial correspondent for the media in her group for CNN? I thought he was tall too, Renee. I was so surprised. Yeah, Brandon, it's race baiting every question. It's like ask another question. Sarah's so good because her daddy is such an amazing guy, raised her right. Probably so, Shannon. They call on April and April Fool's Day. That would be great, Jerry. That would be so great. April, in honor of your special day. Next question. That would be great. Hopefully that'll happen, but who knows? But yeah, Sarah is doing an amazing job. President Trump said no wall, then no DACA. Tweeted that out yesterday after talking about Schumer and his surrendering. I thought that was great. I still have some concerns. I really want not just the money for the wall, but I want the wall halfway built before they do anything. Because I'm concerned that they're going to okay the money and then take it back. Hey, Sharon, we need more than a wall. Well, yeah, we need more than a wall, but they're going to put more people on the walls too. Hashtag I'm not a Russian bot. There you go, Brandon. No chain migration. I heard, wasn't it Sarah? Hey, Neil. Sarah was saying also that that's what they wanted to, that they eventually wanted to get to no chain migration. It's a start, Alan. Yep. Schumer surrender. Yep. Welcome, Samir. Your first day. Schumer thinks he's playing hardball about the wall. Poor Schumer, you almost have to feel sorry for him. Almost. Not quite, but almost. I think that he didn't think the president was going to come out and say anything after he decided to move on. But he should never have made that decision to close down the government over nothing. I think the dreamers that are here will be allowed to stay. That's my feeling. Lori, absolutely. I've been saying that all along. They're not going to deport those people. I know people want them deported, some people, but they're not going to do it. Hey, Tillett. Hey, Sherry, how are you? You know, they're not going to round those people up and get them out of the United States. They're going to hopefully it'll stay a little bit like what Obama put in place, even though it was illegal that he did that, and just give them, the residency, and that's it. No path to citizenship, no right to vote. Get in the line with everybody else if you want to become a citizen. Democrats want those million votes. Oh, not only that, Ralph, they want to never see another Republican in office. Feel sorry for Schumer. I'm sorry he's still in office. That's true. Hey, Chris, how are you? Hey, Scott. They will vote anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday, it seemed to be some news outlets were reporting that in California that people were allowed to register to vote that were illegal. That's been going on since about 2015. So I don't know why people woke up yesterday and realized it was happening. If you get a driver's license, and illegals can have driver's licenses in California, you're automatically registered to vote. But supposedly, only citizens can vote. So if you try to vote and you're not a citizen, the registrar of voters will catch that. And we know they will. So, next on President Trump's agenda is to make America officially a Christian nation. Well, it always has been. It was only Obama who tried to say it wasn't. Hey, Mike, they don't even ask if you're a citizen on the form. No, they don't. No, they don't ask if you're a citizen. That's not even a question. Why do California citizens put up with that? It's not that we put up with it, Rhonda. It's just that we're outnumbered. Hey, Wendell. They don't check. O'Keefe videos show that. No, you are not asked anything. When you go in to vote, that's right, Scott. You just go in there and you say, hey, I am Joe Doe and I'm here to vote. Okay, sign here, Joe Doe. They don't look at anything. Trump will lower the hammer on voter registration before the election. I hope so. I would exchange DACA residency for full wall funding right now, but all criminal DACA recipients go. But Shannon, that they have to go now. Any criminals that are DACA still have to go. Hey, Marlene. They can't stay here. I mean, they're taking people who are here illegally and people who are criminals on top of illegally coming into the United States, and they are deporting those people. I didn't show anything, had my driver's license. I don't understand. That's crazy. Yes, it is. Democrats are faking scandals against Trump to take away the evangelical vote. Of course, Samir. No to DACA and the wall, a huge wall. I agree with that. All criminal DACA need to be rounded up immediately. Thank God for the Electoral College. But they're trying everything that they can. In Pennsylvania, you'll see they're trying to change the districting there so that Pennsylvania Democrats can get more seats so that what happened in Pennsylvania won't happen again. Right now, they are mulling over giving felons voter rights in Florida. Yep. Yepper. And I believe what is in Alabama, felons already have a right to vote. They were signing them up in Alabama against Roy Moore. So, felons are voting in Virginia. I don't understand that. Pretty soon, and if you're a felon, you go to prison, what rights are taken away from you? I mean, it's almost like you're given free room and board. You can work out. You can vote. I mean, come on. No, they're not kidding you, binary. I thought that was against federal law. I thought it was too. So, I don't know. But I know it is done, and it seems to be legal, so. It's crazy. It shouldn't happen, but, And see, that's not even California. So, there you go. I always talk about California because typically what happens here goes across the United States. Nothing surprises me anymore living in a dream world. I know. Well, more kind of like a nightmare world, Brandon, in some instances. Let me tell you about something that happened in Pennsylvania that is just so incredibly horrible. Do you think Governor Scott would give felons a right to vote? He would veto, hopefully. Illegal crats. Yep, there you go. A Pennsylvania couple was arrested and accused of beating their 4-year-old to death over spilled cereal. I know, Marianne, just like Vegas, right? They stripped him down after he admitted he spilled his milk, punched him in the back of the head, then smacked him on his buttocks with a sandal. After he urinated on himself and became unresponsive, allegedly they placed him in the shower and blasted him with cold and hot water. Then they put clothes on him, took him outside, called 911, and tried to fabricate a story. The house was filthy and crawling with roaches, the coroner said. That Tajir had previously been injured, including broken ribs. And his mother is currently 8 months pregnant. These are all allegations, of course, until proven. Sounds like Guantanamo. Sounds worse than that. So sad. I mean, this precious little boy, I can't even believe it. Can't get the right to vote for criminal politicians. Right. After the mother gives birth, they should immediately be put to death, Shannon said. Well, and also, after she gives birth, that baby will be taken from her. Heartbreaking. What the hell is wrong with people? Lee, it's called evil. That story made me cry. I know, Shannon. I can't even, you can't let your mind go there and to know what kind of pain that child must have been in. I'm glad God took this child to his heart. I know, Tom. This land is so wicked, Brandon said. See you, Barbara. Have a good therapy session on your wrist. Physical therapy. In other news, there's a Russian woman who's running against Putin in the upcoming election. She's reportedly been invited. I hate hearing news like that. It makes me want to do something about those pukes. I know we don't question God, but why? Well, Teresa, but who did it? God didn't do it to the child. Allegedly, his parents did. God gave us all free will. The morals provided through the Bible verses are needed now more than ever. Absolutely. Absolutely. Free will. That's right, Marlene. And they took their free will and they abused it. Hey, Damien. Doesn't Putin have a high approval rating? Well, Brandon, whether he does or not in reality, I'm sure he does in his own right? God's judgment on DC is coming soon. Yes, the child died, Marianne. I know, but he would stop things. I know God is perfect. He could stop things, but, you know, we sin almost all the time. So, I don't know. Is he going to stop all of the sin? Remember, sin of any caliber is the same to God. When they took God out of the schools is when everything failed. Joyce said, Putin, I like him better than Hillary. Binary said, I saw that story with the kids being chained. So sad. That was in Paris, California. Yeah, they were getting ready. I saw a story this morning saying they were getting ready to move to Oklahoma. I guess they wanted to make sure that they got away, that nobody would see them, I'm guessing. Paris, California is a small little town. You think Mexico would accept those people back? If they're citizens of Mexico, they have to accept them back. Sin came into the world, but we know how the back of the book ends. That's right. Thank you, Jesus. Marlene said she'll get disappeared again, going against Putin. Well, here's the interesting thing about her. Hey, Gisette, good morning. Might love you and Pastor Bill. A pity you all didn't talk about the March for Life. I would have loved to hear his input next time, I hope. Well, we talk about different subjects, Josette, so we just didn't get to that subject. So this woman who is supposedly been invited to the prayer meeting, she's the equivalent of Paris Hilton. So, meaning she is a socialite daughter of Putin's mentor. So she may be able to stay alive. Putin's mentor. Putin's already paid the Clintons, Ralph said. Yeah, those people in Paris, like I was saying, it's a very small town in California. I mean, it's really small. It's one of those towns where it's so small, you would pretty much know what your next door neighbor is doing for the most part. However, in California, you really don't sometimes know what your neighbor's doing. I know my neighbors across the street, and we see them come and go. We wave at each other. I know their names. But the wife was pregnant, and I didn't know. And my husband didn't know. And all of a sudden, here they are with a child. I'm like, okay, for 9 months you were pregnant, and we didn't know? How did we not know? So it's, you know, lives just kind of go, and you don't necessarily know what your neighbors are doing. They should get the death penalty for what they did, Brandon said. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. If they had neighbors like I did, they would have reported it, Julia said, right? I don't hear anything about Mexico encouraging his people back. Well, Kane Pops, I mean, why would you encourage them to come back when most of the people here from Mexico are sending money back to the people in Mexico? To Paris, California, then right at Bubba's garage. Yeah, Cully, it's Paris here is spelled Perris. They should go back to Mexico and fix all the corruption there. They were well trained here. I know, Daniel. Calls for investigation and FBI are heating up, Spencer said. Absolutely. That FISA report that came out, that was pretty amazing. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin says that an informant confirmed the existence of anti-Trump secret society within the FBI and the DOJ. So that was a little shocking information that came out from Senator Ron Johnson yesterday, who says that he's talked with an informant who has confirmed that there is an existence of a secret society that went on in the FBI and the DOJ that was anti-Trump. You know, to me, again, that's treason. But we'll have to see what that means exactly about anti-Trump secret society. Mexico's strategy is to take back the Southwest U.S. without doing it. Yeah, just bringing more people over. Exactly. I heard that there may be threats of violence against Trump in the missing text messages. Woo! Could be, Shannon. Strzok used that language in his text. Susan, you read about Alabama's attempting to waive marriage licenses because of gay marriages. I haven't read that. True Pundit has been releasing some great articles. Some of what True Pundit gets, honestly, comes from other sources. Just like some of the stuff I write comes from other sources. I know that's another person that you really want to put 100% of your faith in, but some of the articles are from other articles. And then people think, oh my gosh, True Pundit's writing this. No, it's already come out in Fox about 2 days before. So nothing against True Pundit, but again, nobody is 100% right. You can't trust people. Just been one one person. Okay. Also, they wanted to. I didn't even know why you need a marriage license. Joyce, I think a long time ago that you used to have a blood test before you had a marriage license, and a lot of that, yeah, they copy it almost word for word too. Yeah, everybody does. I don't. I put my sources. I usually don't copy anything word for word, but if I copy something that's in their quote, they have sources for that. I notice other articles do not put their sources in there. Back to the marriage license, it used to be you would have to have a blood test before you got married. The reason for that was twofold. One, I guess in some ways they didn't want incest to occur, and number two, there's some like an RH factor. You could be born with needing a blood transfusion when you were born, so they were hoping that it would stop that. These days, you still have to get a marriage license, but you don't need to prove anything. If I need a license to drive, I certainly need a license to drive my male nuts. I know, Joyce. Indiana, you have to have a measles vaccination. Wow. Yes, blood tests for sexually transmitted diseases and others. I don't think the blood test is required anymore, though, Jerry. I mean, not in California. Walk in, get your license, walk out. The DACA people. Yeah, we talked about Josette, the people in front of Schumer's house. We talked about that in the very beginning. So they wanted to remind everybody that the FISA memo doesn't have to be approved for release by the White House. They only has to do is the House Intel Committee, as we talked about yesterday. They just need to vote to release it, and the president has 5 days. Don't know. I'm still married a long time, Jerry said. Well, Jerry, if you ever get a divorce, you're set. California allows HIV-infected people to give blood. Yeah, you're not allowed to ask them if they have HIV. As supposedly, Renee, and this will make us all feel comfortable, supposedly the test on it would show you that it was HIV positive. Yeah. Gay marriage wouldn't have been an issue if the need for a license was not there. Yeah, your ex-wife gets your blood too, Ralph said. Are you talking from experience? Yes, Joyce, give HIV blood. Yes. They don't want to discriminate against anyone in California, so you're no longer able to ask if they have HIV. I have a rare blood type, so, if anybody ever needs blood, just ask me. I hopefully don't have any of those diseases. California is a safe space state. That's right, Brandon. We all feel very safe here in this anti-Second Amendment state. We're safe from everything. I'm being very sarcastic. I know you know that. Even if they can kill you, let's not discriminate. That's right, Renee. We can't hurt anybody's feelings here in California. No one. California. Yep. Yes, blood donations don't screen HIV donors anymore. Would you feel comfortable getting that blood? Oh, no, Jerry, I wouldn't. If everybody could, please, we're at the halfway point. If you would please retweet this and share it, I would appreciate it. So are you cool with it splitting into 2 states? Oh, yes, binary agent. I am more than cool about it. Is your husband a California native? Yes, he is, Lori. I would be very happy if California was split into 2 states. In fact, I'll be backing it profusely if it turns out to be as good as I think it is. I don't know what the chances of it actually happening, but, we can only try. We can only hope, too, that our leaders, some more of our California leaders, get ousted because of sexual harassment or other allegations, and maybe we can get back the majority. I heard about that. Yep, New California is what it's called, binary. Let's see. Richmond, California, next to San Francisco. I know. Don't take my dreams away, Marianne. Talked to a coworker there about it. I could tell he's a bit on the left. A bit? Soon as memo comes out, a lot will flee. Joyce said, New California will have to build a wall too, Ralph said. Yeah. See, what it is that everybody on the coast, they're the Democrats and the ones with the money, and they make the decision for everybody else, as my pastor used to say. And I had an African-American pastor, so he'd say everybody. So he'd say everybody else is the ones that are being dictated to by what the people, the Democrats and rich people on the coast want. I think it's great that they have money and they live on the coast and they can do that. I just don't like them telling me what I can do in my state. Let California be its own country. Yes, Central California was nice and Republican. Brandon, and so was Southern California. San Diego used to be a staunch Republican county and city until, unfortunately, Ronald Reagan gave amnesty. And he knows, I mean, he knows that he screwed up when he did that. He admitted that. So it's unfortunate. So they would go broke. Yep, all states vote to drop California, and New California becomes the new 50th state. Oh, that would be so great. Oh my gosh. So great. Richmond, California, which is outside of San Francisco, in the highly populated left-wing city. Richmond, California is the 9th city that are suing 29 oil companies and blaming them for the rise in the sea level that's impacting climate change. New York City also filed. I know that surprises you. If California got more left, they would drown in the ocean. I know. California would go broke without government financing. Brandon, it's the New California isn't asking to secede from the federal government. They're just asking to secede from the old California. Yeah, Richmond, California is suing 29 oil companies. They're one of 9 cities that are suing oil companies, saying that, well, Alan, there are people who sue for a lot of things that they can't prove, for natural things. I know, binary. Hey, Robin, good morning. So sorry I'm late. A deputy sheriff has been at my house for 2 hours, got things rolling. Good, Robin. Obama said DACA was not a path to citizenship. That was a lie. Well, Spencer, what did he say that wasn't? Crazy stuff. I've heard it all. Yep. And New York City is suing them as well. They're saying that what they're doing is causing a rise in the sea level, and that's impacting climate change. If California keeps going left, don't they end up in Russia? Could be, Jerry. I hope that the New California is allowed to have its state status. Well, you can have state status as long as it doesn't interfere with federal supremacy clause laws. I mean, come on. They just want to coat the companies millions for, yeah, I was mixing up New California thing with seceding. Yes. I'm all for states' rights, but not when you're interfering with the federal government and their immigration law, which is part of the supremacy clause, which prevails over state law. Hey, Robert, Obama said rise in the economy is due to him and compared Trump to Hitler. Obama needs to just, sit down and be quiet. Just sit down, be quiet. Thank you for the flowers, Robert. Good to see you. Let's see. The Hill is blaming Trump for a decrease in tourism. They're saying that tourism is down by 4% and that travel spending is down 3.3%. Isn't New York suing oil companies also? Suing oil companies? Yeah, Cully, that's why I was saying New York City is also one of the 9 who is suing for the same reason. What would we do with our flag split one of the stars? Al, I'd be willing to sew on the stars if we needed to. Can you live with 4 more senators? Yeah, if they were 4 more Republican senators, I could. Remember when MSM said economy would tank? Yep. I'm comparing Obama to Satan now, and Satan ain't looking so bad. It's one up to Obama. Binary said. Tourists will always come. Strength of U.S. dollar is the problem, not Trump. And one of the reasons that the travel industry may be down is due to the travel bans. And if that's true, if some of those people were coming here were people that I don't know whether or not they're going to hurt people in the country, I'm kind of glad that tourism is down from those people. So, again, that's fine. 4%'s nothing when you're, comparing it to whether or not you're protecting American citizens. Let's see. There was this. I don't know. Does anybody know the storm chaser from Discovery Channel? Joel Taylor. Does anybody watch that? Dow is wow now, Susan. Yes, it is, Robert. We talked about that in the beginning. The Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all breaking records, all high. Yes, he died. He was 38 years old, and he's a storm chaser on the Discovery Channel from Oklahoma, and they don't know why he died. Not yet, anyway. 38 years old. That's pretty sad. Obama pseudo names used to email each other. Yes, very sadly. I was under the impression that they were going through the process to legally split off from California. It is, till it. They're trying. New California is trying to split off from the coast, basically, of California, because that's where all the Democrats are. That's where all the money is, and that's where all the control is. So they're trying to become New California, which is everything excluding the coastline. All right. In other news, when the government was closed down, we didn't hear this, of course, but when the government was closed down, 150 ISIS fighters in an airstrike in eastern Syria were killed while the government was shut down. But then they would expect everyone to trade with them. What would be wrong with that, Brandon? The airstrike took down one of the last remaining pockets of ISIS control along the Euphrates River near the border between Syria and Iraq. Robin says she used to watch Storm Chasers on that channel. That is very sad. The split is right at the San Andreas Fault. Very funny, Alan. Hey, Carmen. There's a school district on Long Island that it stood tall, they said, amid pressure from Muslim advocacy groups last week when it decided not to add 2 Islamic-based holidays to the school calendar. I think that's pretty unusual for New York to fold on an Islamic holiday at their school. So that's a first. And I don't know if you heard about this. I didn't hear anything about it. I think it was on Tuesday morning. Secret Service was alerted to the presence of a man outside of the White House. This was, I think it was around like 2:30 in the morning. Police states that a 43-year-old Brian McHugh of Alexandria, Virginia, told the officers that the vehicle contained a pressure switch and extra gasoline. I know, Ralph, it could have been. He does live close by. Hey, Joseph, good to see you. Authorities say the vehicle was searched. There were no explosives, but a loaded gun was recovered. Yeah, didn't hear anything about that. If that had been Obama's White House, it would have been all over the news. It was actually Schumer saying he's sorry, Binary said. The Republicans, hey Sarah, the Republicans keep talking about the fact that they want to look into voting at the House Intel Committee level to get that memo released. How much longer are you going to talk about it? When are you going to do it? Take the vote. Let's go. Michelle Obama got replaced by an immigrant. Oh, the irony. Yeah, I don't know where Michelle is. Really don't care. Valerie Jarrett's probably still in the Obama house. So, that's the one you got to really worry about. And what is she doing? She's been extremely quiet, which means she's probably doing a lot behind the scenes. During the shutdown, they stopped discussing Congress slush fund, too. It's amazing how things get shut down. Will Michelle run? I hope not, Brandon. Ugh. That would be terrible. Release a memo still over 5,000 tweets per hour. Good, Ralph. We need to continue that. Again, because Adam Schiff says that you're a Russian bot. I saw a picture of her on vacation. Yeah, I saw that too. Was that the one with her in the white shorts? Yeah, I don't know, Alan. Anybody's guess, I guess. Whoa. That was fun. Let's see. Federal law enforcement sources told multiple media outlets that James Rybicki, the former chief of staff to former FBI Director James Comey, has quit the agency. Yes, and her Daisy Dukes. That was a sight to see. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Again, the media does not care about the president's safety, but God does. Josette said, absolutely. You know, this is something that came up the other day, and I was thinking about this. I want to share it with you. This is just my opinion, just my thoughts, no resources to back it up, nothing, my opinion. I've been thinking a lot lately about how the Democrats like to try to invoke the 25th Amendment, which would cause the vice president to have to take action and remove the president. And also in other things that in trying to, if President Trump were impeached, which he's not going to be, so I'm just saying, and hypothetically, it would be Vice President Pence that takes over. Thinking about those things, there's a concern to me because the third person in control, do you know who the third person next in line would be? Does anybody know? After Pence? Yep. Paul Ryan. Exactly. Yes. Yep, Mike. Everybody's got it right. So, I know that we pray for the president. We need to also pray for the vice president because President Trump and the Vice President Pence are the two people that are really draining the swamp, appear to be really on our side. Ryan, not so much. So if Vice President Pence were out of the way, wouldn't be a good thing. Pray hard for Vice President Pence's safety as well. Hey, Don, yes, you got it right. Pence is a godly man. Pray for his protection. Ryan is a Soros tool, Mike said. Yeah, so I mean, you could get more of a Amendment 25 action taking place if you had Ryan in the place of the vice president. Robin said praying for them. Yes, Ryan is an Islamist. I don't know what Paul Ryan is. He claims to be a Catholic. Have no idea. I don't like Trump going to Davos. Joy said I don't necessarily either. Ryan seems to be on the fence on things. Yep, always praying for Vice President and the president. Good. He's a globalist too. Yes, he is. Ryan is. I went to high school with Mike. Oh, good. Went to type Ryan and automatically said rude. Yeah. So, again, I just share that with you. No sources, nothing like that. Just a feeling that I had, just something that came up. And I thought I wanted to share that. I've always known the House Speaker was the next in line, and it always scared me. Yes. Robin said that. Yep. He was class president. Nice. That would make sense, Marlene. Hopefully, after President Trump has had 2 terms, Mike Pence will want to be president, take his place. That would be great. Okay. Judicial. Can Obama be impeached? No. Or what? I retroactively remove his Disney animatronic in Hall of Residence. I heard Trump has a private security detail. Who knows, Mike? Should, but I don't think that Obama is going to be impeached. I really don't think it's never happened. I don't believe, for our history to have a president that would be like impeached and brought up on charges of treason. I mean, it could happen, but hey, Georgia, I wish I could share my yearbook pics with y'all. Yeah, I do too. That would be nice. You could put it on Twitter, Marlene, and then put it on my timeline, and everybody can come over there. We need to pump oxygen into the large metro areas to improve those people's brain functions. This is the president setting exposure, though. The president always knows what he is doing. I believe that. Obama should be and removed from the history books. Strip Obama of the Nobel Prize. He should never have gotten that. That was such a giveaway just because somebody was sucking up to the president. I know, Mike. I couldn't repeat that, Mike. Funny, all flew in jets in Swiss. That was a fixed award. Yep, that was a crock. It was definitely a crock. I feel bad for the other people who actually earned that and didn't get it. 40 years this year, class of 78. Wow. So, Judicial Watch has uncovered court documents recently filed by the government further rock the credibility of the Robert Mueller. They said that the documents show that as an FBI director, Mueller worked to cover up the connection between a Florida Saudi family and the 9/11 terrorist attacks. I'm so glad the dark is being brought to light, Amanda said. So much is coming out daily on a crooked government. Oh, was at the top. Yep, Jerry, sure was. And remember that Obama, all through his presidency, would say, oh, well, I heard it at the same time you did. Oh, I didn't know about that. I only found out by watching TV, just like you. So he never wanted to admit to anything. Mueller is part of a secret society. I feel very strongly that he should never, and I've said this from the beginning, never have been in that position as special counsel, not only because of conflicts, but for things that happened before with the uranium one. Most transparent administration history, Obama. Yeah, I know. He was emailing Hillary on private emails. Yep, one of the biggest crooks that got away was Harry Reid, Joyce said. And, Joyce, he may not have gotten away. If they can find a link, he may not be safe. Assange was posting this morning, something will happen soon. Well, something will, Lee. Obama was the worst president ever, Robin said. I believe that. He took Jimmy Carter's place, in my opinion. It's not only a feeling, it's the Holy Spirit letting you know and letting us know that we have to broaden our prayer strategy. Thanks, Josette said. Thanks, Josette, for pointing that out. The devil is busy work in D.C. Busy at work. Yeah. So anyway, with Mueller, there's a lot there. And now there's speculation that Mueller is going to be talking to President Trump and interviewing him. It has to. All is blowing up. Whistleblowers and those wanting deals are talking now. Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about President Trump talking to Mueller? Any opinions? I mean, me personally, I don't think that he should talk to Mueller. And if I were his attorneys, I would tell him not to talk to Mueller. But that's just me. I believe that too. He should not. And Lee said, not sure. It's a trap potentially. Yeah, binary, just like it was with Flynn. I don't trust Mueller, Jerry said. No way, Cully said. Trump needs to have an open conversation on TV and lay it all out. Brandon said, after the special counsel is over, Mike said, he should talk. Already confessed on TV. Confessed to what, Dennis? Confessed on TV. He's mindful of what he's doing. Yeah, he is. Why did Sessions talk to Mueller when he was recused? Joyce, that was part of the reason he recused himself, because he was part of the campaign. So he can talk to Mueller over what, that's the reason that he campaigned, that he recused himself in the first place. I wish he could fire him, but oh well, he should not talk to him. The State of the Union address will be a doozy. Should be, Jerry. Should be really good. I mean, if he goes down and talks about all his accomplishments, it's going to be like a 4-hour State of the Union address. Of course, I'm just kidding, but, his accomplishments are about 5 or 6 pages long. I mean, my gosh. No space in between. It would take a long time to talk about all of them. And you know what? He should sit there and name every single one of them. There's a web being constructed. Mueller will be caught in it. Just watch, Alexa said. Trump is stable genius. Maybe he has a strategy. Trump should never speak to Mueller. See, and I believe that, Brandon, but, when you speak to attorneys, they listen to every word. Trump should talk to Mueller about his involvement in the Obama corruption. What are you talking about, Roger? He has no involvement in the Obama corruption. He may want to talk about Obama's corruption, but there's no involvement that he has in the Obama corruption. That's why it's called the Obama corruption, right? But as I was saying, when you talk to attorneys or you talk to like FBI agents, they listen to your every word. Answer in writing by president's attorneys. There you go, Ralph. But I have a feeling that President Trump is going to insist that he talk to them, even against his advice. Mueller was involved with Uranium One. He was involved, Roger. Whether he was guilty of anything is yet to be proven, but he absolutely was involved in Uranium One. Forget protocol, just be transparent, lay it out. Trump is not a politician, but you have to be careful because the law is different, Brandon. Mueller involved in Uranium One, big player. They said Disney is where dreams come true. I don't think that he should, but Jay Sekulow told Sean they are putting things in place, Josette said. And yes, Don, Disneyland is where dreams come true. That's for sure. Yeah, I see the mistake that Flynn made was talking without an attorney to that FBI agent. Because that agent would ask him the same question and listen to every word. So, you know, I just think that he has to be extremely careful. Just do what Obama did and throw law out the door. Exactly, Brandon. Time is a country to move forward and do what's best for the country and take advantage of our economy. Yes, Pops. Every question asked would be a trap. Yes, Ralph. I believe that. I do believe that. Good morning, William. How are you? You're in Pennsylvania. Good to see you. So that's going to be, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest it. And I don't know how that's going to be. If it's going to be recorded, I'm sure it will be. Still got my Mickey watch from Disney with 7. Lee, it's the happiest place on earth. I thought the saddest story I ever heard, and I forget what show, this was years ago. I think it may have been like a dating show. This woman was getting back out there and trying to date again. But she loved Disney World. And she just, you know, to her, it was the happiest place on earth, right? She always went to Disney World. She and her boyfriend went to Disney World. She lived for Disney World. And so what happened? Her boyfriend broke up with her at Disney World. How low can you go? Oh, my gosh. Couldn't he have broken up with her anyplace else? Jeez. Flynn will be exonerated because evidence is fruit of the poisonous tree. Absolutely. I know, Lori. Oh, it is awful, Lee, for the rest of her life now. It's like she's going to equate that with horrible, horrible memories instead of the great, great memories that she had. Unbelievable. How rotten can you be what that guy did? Thanks, Susan, for another great scope. Thank you, Chicago Pops. Have a great day. Magic moment turned sour. I know, Brandon, right there at the Magic Kingdom. You know? I mean, come on. Hey, Monique. It's not illegal for a president to deny an interview with the FBI director. Exactly, Holy. That's why I'm saying he shouldn't do it. I know, Amanda, how sad. Never share your deep thighs or deep thoughts, Lee. Even deep thoughts and deep thighs, right? Release the memo and have a good day. You too, Brandon. Keep doing that hashtag release the memo and keep that going. We want that to continue to go. Tell them that also you're not a Russian bot. You're not stupid and you're not a Russian bot, you know, contrary to what Schiff and the other Democrats say. Unbelievable. I know, Amanda, it was cold-blooded of him to do that. What would Mickey say about stuff like that? Mickey would have none of that, right? She should have taken him to the Pirates of the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, whichever one you say, and locked him in that, remember the jail cell where the dog is sitting there with the key? That's where he should have been put for being so bad. Just tuning in to listen to post the show after. Thank you, Monique. So, I don't know. Don't take your boyfriend to Disneyland. Thank you, Lee. Great scope, Susan. Take care, guys. Be safe. See you tomorrow. This is only Wednesday. It's only Wednesday. But please retweet this, if you will, and share it with everybody. It's like the deplorable comment backfired. I know, Alan. Minnie needs to counsel her. Exactly. Pray, pray, pray. Mueller interviews Trump. Yeah, Rob, Robert, that's been alleged that Mueller wants to interview him now about his firing of Comey and I think some stuff on McCabe. What, make him listen to It's a Small World after all, over and over? Yes. I called him yesterday, Amanda said. Great show. Thank you, Susan. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Gary. When is that going to happen? We don't know for sure, Robert. Don't know for sure. Don't even know if that's actually true. So I would take it with a grain of salt, but it's probably likely that it's going to happen, but Who knows? God bless, went too fast for me because I was late. That's okay, Robin. So release the memo, hashtag release the memo. Keep that going. We need that continuing to go because they're going to try to withhold it, saying that we're just Russian bots, that we really didn't want it released. Blessings, everybody. Great show. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Please share this, everyone. Thank you, Lori. And, we'll see you again tomorrow. God bless. Take care. All right, everybody. Thank you so much on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow.